Ladies and gentlemen, 25 million. And then concurrently, Napoli have got a meeting this week with the Sancho camp as well, and Serie A might be an option. You've got Saudi Arabian interest too. Al Ali. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Their top target, Luis Diaz, but good evening. To Sancho 12 months ago, he wasn't that keen on Saudi Arabia. Good evening. His position hasn't changed. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. No one on the track. Never really had this sounds about swap deals, but I imagine there's some purify me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Let's bring this thing closer. Good evening, Yvonne. How are you? How are you? I trust you good. Trust you well. We'll just give it another 2-3 minutes just so we can wait for the rest of the guys to join us. If you know somebody that's supposed to be on the call tonight and is not on the call, feel free to drop them a message. Feel free to drop them a message. Feel free to drop them a message. Good evening, Nelly Ngoma. How are you? Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. I'm streaming from two gadgets today, just in case one kicks me out. I can't see clearly. But good evening. Good evening. Awesome. Awesome. I'm excited too. Good evening, Mildred. Mildred. Is it the Mildred that I know? Is it the Mildred that I know? You're welcome. You're welcome. God bless you. Great thanks. Awesome stuff. Dr. Joyce. How's it? How's it? How's it? How's it? Good to have you tonight. Good to have you tonight. Just give it another 2-3 minutes and then we can jump right straight to it. Welcome to tonight's um, business mastery class. I believe we're in week two. Week two. Or is it three? All I know is we're moving. Absolutely. Last week was really amazing. Got to share my segment with Coach David because I had to jump onto another segment that was pending for my school. So he jumped in, and I believe you guys had an amazing time with him. I brought up a concept on the 8 steps. It's not really part of the course outline, but I just felt that it is important that people understand the the basic foundation for us to be successful in this class. So the effectiveness of this class is not necessarily attendance. The effectiveness of this class will be seen after what happens after we attend these classes. So we need to be result focused, result oriented, that these classes must not be just an hour that we spent listening, but they should be, we should be able to be effective and to be able to execute as soon as we leave uh, um, this class. If anybody runs a business, whether it's on a full time or a side hustle, you've run a business before, or you currently running a business, either side hustle or still running. Please just post in the comment section with the hands up. emoji quickly. I just want to see something quickly. I just want to see something quickly. Side hustle or as your main hustle, business. Those that are in business, if you can just comment in the comment section with the hand emoji, I really appreciate that. Quickly, if you can hear me, also just give me a thumbs up. I hope you can hear me clearly. Good evening, Lungi. Good evening, Lungi. You are welcome. You are welcome. I believe nobody runs a business or has a side hustle. Who's that? Lungi. Awesome. Well done. Well done. I see Lungi. I see a hand raised over there, which is great. Anybody else? Anybody else? Mildred, awesome stuff. Okay, three, that's enough. I needed that just to have an idea of what we are working with in this particular class. So today we have a very important segment that we're going to be tackling, which has to do with systems and structures for growth. Understand? So um, the most important thing that um, is a good measurement when it comes to business and the concept of business and what it's all about is growth should always be measured. Growth is always measurable. Excuse me, the moment you can't measure your growth, there is a problem there, right? So even growth downwards, by the way, oftentimes you think that when something is growing, it is the measurement of what's happening upwards. You know that growth can also happen downwards. You could be growing in a negative way or growing in a positive way. So it is important that we are able to measure our growth. Is there certain things that we need to change in our business because maybe we are growing backwards? Or is there more things that we can improve on because we are noticing a growth that is upwards? Right. So for us to be able to accommodate growth upwards, it is going to be important for us to put things in order. And one of the things that ensure that your business continues to grow upwards is when structures and systems are put in place. Right? Systems and structures are the foundation, if not the skeleton that holds the body, right? That holds the business. A system and a structure is the ability for me to lift my hands right now and be able to communicate non-verbally right now is because there is a faculty in me, there is a system in me that allows me to move my ligaments, it allows me to move my hand, it allows me to move my palms, it allows me to move my neck, my head, and the whole nine yards. Why? Because there's a system that you cannot see necessarily, but it is working. So that is the thing about systems. Usually, the best systems that ensure that people are successful are the ones that you don't see. They just happen plug and play. Right now, for us to be able to understand the systems that ensure that we develop businesses that are sustainable, because the goal is sustainability, right? In order for us to ensure that we have a business that is sustainable, I'm going to talk about kingdom business, by the way. So forgive me, when I'm not wearing the coach hat, I'm a pastor. So allow me to delve into the spiritual concept of I believe everything that happens on the physical has its inclination in the spirit or its origin in the spirit. So everything that we ever see here on earth, we can draw it back to the spirit realm and see where it comes from. So whatever it is that we're going to ever understand when it comes to a kingdom business, especially, right, which is very important to understand, the most important thing is we need to go to the origin, right? So allow me to break this down from a spiritual context, but then we'll come back into the typical business structure. So I want to tackle it from that angle, and then we'll take it into the other angle so that we can link both, and we are going to be able to have an understanding of how we can implement structure. Now, for you to be able to implement a structure, you will need to understand the concept of that business that you're trying to fulfill. In this case, we're talking about kingdom businesses, right? Now, for us to be able to have a successful business kingdom wise, the most important thing that we need to understand is what is the origin. So if you turn your Bibles whenever you get a chance to, from the book of Genesis 1, verse 28, right? The full picture of the structure of a man as an entity. Now, remember, I think this is in our first class. I mentioned and I told you the first thing and the most important thing that you need to understand is we are not creating businesses as an entity. Because the moment you focus on a business as an entity, you miss the concept. The most important business here is you. That's why my favorite saying is, I'm not a businessman, I am a business, right? Because the moment you look at life that way, as you as the business, you will learn how to monetize your time, you will learn how to monetize your relationships, you will learn how to monetize different things that are around you. And that in itself will be a DNA that shall be able to plug into the systems that we're about to talk about. So, what are these systems, or the DNA of the systems that have already been put in place for us to just plug in and to be able to have a structure based around these things? Now, Genesis 1, verse 28 outlines 5 basic kingdom keys, right? Now, these are the kingdom keys that once you understand the full concept of what God was trying to introduce man to, you will understand the concept of structure even better. Because the moment you look at it from this angle, it will change your foresight on how you look at business and how it is run, right? So, Genesis 1, verse 28, right? I'm going to read it for you very, very quickly so that you can have an understanding of what I'm talking about. I'm going to read from the New King James Version, right? This is after God has created man in his image, and now he's given him the assignment, he's given him the blueprint, he's given him the foresight, he's given him the structure, he's given him the skeleton of whatever it is that man should take up after, because anything outside this is like a KPI, right? These are the key performance indicators that man was given. This was the form of structure that man was given for him to be able to measure whether he's growing in business. Remember, the business here is the man. Now we're going to read it very quickly. The Bible says in the book of Genesis 1, verse 28, New King James Version, then God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful. Number one, we're going to break this down even further as we move. Be fruitful. Number two, multiply, right? Number three, fill the earth. Number four, subdue. And number five, have dominion. These are the 5 basic key principles, or the 5 keys of the kingdom, or the 5 structural implementations that we need to have an effect for us to be effective people here on earth. So when you're looking at your business from a concept of the first thing that says to be fruitful, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you are when the word fruitful comes? Be fruitful. A lot of people have marginalized this into thinking it's about baby making and having children, right? But when God is introducing man to this concept of being fruitful, there is something that is big that he's looking at that is beyond childbearing. Because he's not talking about childbearing here. No, 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 no. He's talking about being fruitful. So every time you are thinking about a business and what it is that you want to do in this earth, the number one thing that you need to not run away from is, how am I going to be fruitful? How am I going to ensure that this business, me first of all, as the business, before we can talk about the entity as a business, how am I going to be fruitful to the point that I am able to understand the concept around being fruitful, that even if I'm not around, even if I'm not in the presence of somebody, I have already fulfilled something, and that is being fruitful, right? You understand that one of my favorite fruits is an apple, right? Do you realize that an apple doesn't even know how it tastes? It has never tested itself. It doesn't know how it tests. It doesn't know how beautiful the test of its fruit is. Why? Because fruits are for people. So businesses and everything that you do, you must look at people. What are you solving? What solution are you bringing to the earth? What solution are you bringing to the marketplace? What solution are you bringing to your family? What solution are you bringing to your community? That in itself will give you structure, because you will not be like an unplanted tree, or rather a potted plant. I've got a nice little potted plant here in the corner of my house here. Guess what? Every time I want to water it, I can take it outside. Every time it needs the sun, I take it outside just so it can breathe some fresh air. It can do whatever it needs to do. But guess what? I bring it back. I can move it wherever. Why? Because it's a potted plant. It is not stable. So people who do not understand why they're in business are not stable. That's why today you start shoes, tomorrow you start clothes, tomorrow you start eggs, the other day you're in chickens. Before you know it, in 5 years, or rather in a year, you've done 5 businesses and there's none of it that you are stable in. A jack of all trades, but a master of none. That is not good. You need to be able to master a trade, master it to the point that you know the different angles and corners that pertain to that particular business. So, being fruitful, what solution are you bringing? That in itself produces structure, because it means you are positioned to understand this is what I'm here for and this is what I'm going to achieve. Right. Number two, I'm going to run through them quickly because I know I have a few more pointers that we need to drop from the course outline, but I just wanted to bring this as a background so that we understand from the kingdom perspective. Be fruitful and multiply, right? The second one is to multiply. We must be able to multiply our ideas to the point that, I'll give you an example. One of the ways that you multiply as a structural basis is for you to understand the concept of relationships, right? Relationships are one of the ways that you can multiply. So as a business person, as an individual, as we remember, we're looking at it from both angles, as an entity and as an individual. It is important for you to understand that multiplication is a structural implementation that you need to put into your business as an individual first, as the business person, and as a business as an entity. How many of your relationships right now can vouch for you? Who speaks for you when you're not around? Who can speak a word for you when you are not in the room? From a structural perspective, multiplication looks like relationships. So the ability for you to do your work so good to one person that that person brings 3 people, those 3 people bring another 6 people. You are not even doing much, you are multiplying. Because you did your work so good, you represented your brand so well, you represented your business so well, you represented, like, for those that are in corporate, you did your work so good that you've got 3 job offers right now from different other organizations, and it's a matter of you deciding which one fits you better. That is multiplication. And that in itself is, the moment you understand the concept of multiplication, that is something that you can infuse into your structure. You remember, we're talking structure here. What governs you? What is the DNA of your living here on earth? How do you respect relationships? Is business about just making a profit? Is business just about making money? The moment you make it about that, already you've missed out on the first thing, which is to be fruitful. Because being fruitful has nothing to do with you, it has everything to do with the solution that you bring into the other person. Multiplication, everything to do with relationships. Are you able to multiply your relationships to the point that you are able to have effect on people even without you being in the room? That in itself is a structural point that you need to think about. How am I able to multiply this business? How am I able? Do I need to go back to school? Who do I need to meet? When you look at your screen time, what am I spending most of my time doing? Okay, I'm on Facebook more times, I'm on YouTube more times. Fine, I'm on YouTube. What am I doing on YouTube? Am I listening to podcasts about people that have made it in logistics for people like me? Am I reading about people that are in HR, like Dr. Joyce? What are you doing with your life to be able to multiply it? Like today, Some of you might not have made money in the context of hard cash, but what have you done today to be able to multiply your time that one day it will pay you back? So the moment you start with it yourself, it is going to be easier for you to implement it as a business, as an entity. Why? Because you have understood the concept yourself first, right? So I'm going to run through them. You find these are in the Bible, by the way, right? The third one is to fill the earth. Fill the earth. To fill the earth and to subdue. I'm gonna put those together just for the sake of time. Fill the earth and subdue. As long as your business, I'm sorry if we have foreigners here, but people just know you in Chalala, right? It means there's a problem. You need to start finding ways of how to diversify your business. I think we read from the book of Ecclesiastes last time when we were talking about the concept of diversification. The Bible puts it very, very clear that we must learn how to diversify our businesses. We must learn how to diversify ourselves. We must be able to be in places that don't even have our qualification tag on it. That is to subdue. I can tell you one thing right now. I always tell people this. If you are in trouble and 5 contacts in your phone don't get you out of trouble, throw your phone away. You are in trouble now. Something happened that requires that you can do yourself at that particular moment. 5 contacts in your phone. To certain people, I even get harder with them and I tell them 3 contacts in your phone. If 3 contacts in your phone can't get out of the top of your head, if you don't know who's this, that person who can give me an idea, even if they're not giving you the money for whatever it is that you might need, but I might get an idea, I might get wisdom from there, I might get this, I might get 3 contacts in your phone. If you don't have these 3 contacts, you're not subduing the earth, because that's what it is to subdue, my guy. You must be able to get out of situations not because you know or you are an expert. You must be able to get out of things because you know somebody that knows somebody. And it still comes back to relationships at the end of the day, right? It still comes back to providing solutions, because once you were good to somebody when they needed you, they'll be there for you when you need them. So fill the earth and subdue. Be able to talk about your business. People post on their statuses, and I look and I say, do these people even understand what to WhatsApp is? Yes, it's okay to post about comedy and amazing stuff and making people laugh. People, I can tell you one thing about WhatsApp statuses. As soon as they view it, they go to the other thing and they view the other one, they view the other one, they view the other one. So now imagine you make an impact on your statuses or on your WhatsApp just by being able to post something about your business that day. Even if it didn't reach whoever was inspired, but now they know there's nobody who can do business in South Africa that is on my WhatsApp status without getting in touch with Josh. Do you know why? Because every time I'm on WhatsApp and every time I get an opportunity to post about my business, I post about it like it's the biggest thing on earth. And it is the biggest thing according to my eyes. Why? Because I'm subduing the earth. And for me to be able to subdue the earth, I have to be big. My company is called Subset Global. I didn't name it Subset Zambia or Subset South Africa. I named it Global. Why? Because we are subduing the earth. Oh, come on, somebody. We are subduing the earth. We are filling the earth. The goal is to fill the earth. I was on a chat with Dr. Akan Odon. Some of you might know him. And we were just discussing a few things pertaining to whatever. And you could tell as we were backing up on ideas, I'm feeling the earth in the UK and I've never even been there. I'm feeling the earth. Some of you have access to Dr. Akan, and the only thing that you talk about is whatever you want to talk about. You have access to people that are in the United States. You have access to people that are in different countries. You have access to people that are in Chipata, in Copper Belt. You have access to these people, but you're not on the ground to understand what's going on there. Why? Because you've missed the concept of structure. You need to structure your life to the point that you understand these 5 keys alone can give you so much structure for your business that nothing else, you won't even need anything else that is technical. You won't even need to go to business school. I can tell you for free. Let me run quickly. And the 5th one is dominion. This one is tough. This one is tough because having dominion in itself has a lot to do with understanding what are your boundary lines. I always tell people this, to know that you don't know means you know. To know that you don't know means you know. There are people who are so foolish and unwise that they don't know, but they think that they know. That one is the more dangerous person than the person who actually knows that they don't know. So know that you don't know, and the ability for you to know that you don't know means you know what you know, and be good at what you do. What is your space? What is your space? What is your space? Hmm? Public speaking. How many public speakers have you listened to this week? You call yourself a public speaker and you're like, yeah, I'm the guy. How many do you even how many public speakers have you listened to this week? You call yourself the best this, the best that, you think you are this and that. How many of those things have you done this just today? Have you come across do you even follow the best people that are in your space? Because that is a good start. And then from there, you're able to now dominate your space. You're able to dominate your space. Some of us have never gone to school for public speaking, but guess what? We try to interact with people that are in the game. And we're looking, we're listening to people like Vusitem and Kwayo, and we're sitting there and we're paying attention. We're like, okay, cool. Okay, okay. We're listening to people like you name them. We listen to people like Dr. Nelly. And when we're listening, we're not listening because she's my mother. No, we're listening, we're paying attention. We're paying attention. As we speak right now, I'm putting together a book. Hey, this one is gonna be nice. I'm putting together a book, but where did that inspiration come from? Because people that have mastered how to dominate their space, you're picking and you're saying, okay, 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 okay. Sometimes it's, you see, it's not bad to be a copycat. Just copy the right cat. I'm gonna say that again. It's not bad to be a copycat. Just copy the right cat and you'll be good. You'll be good. You ride on shoulders. Whatever it took them 5 years to do, you can do it in 2 years. Why? Because you're riding on shoulders. You're observing. You're malleable to learning and to being able to take in. I was once mentored by an atheist, my favorite mentor ever. He taught me the ropes of business when I came to South Africa. There's nothing that I can't sell, guys. There's nothing that I can't sell. Why? Because I paid attention to a man that did the craft for over 10 years. He could sell SIM cards. He started with SIM cards. He started with DVDs, CDs, small little things, small. And before you know it, he's now on the top of the food chain when it comes to marketing here in South Africa. And I paid attention. What time does this guy wake up? Oh, he wakes up at 4 a.m. And he's already a millionaire and he wakes up at 4 a.m. What am I doing at 6 a.m.? Dominating your space. That's small little things like that. Just being able to master where you're trying to go and what it is that you're trying to do. You'll be able to live your life in a manner that ensures that at least you have a shot at success. Right? So those are the 5 things that I want to talk about as a foundation for structure. 5 keys of the kingdom. 5 principles about the kingdom. The 5 DNA traits of a kingdom business. You need to understand these things, and these are the basic things that you need to understand as a foundation to build structure, to build systems, because this is the system that God created to govern man. So you need to understand them. How, if I'm not good at my space in dominating, how can I be good at this, and how can I make it up for this? But what do I know? I mean, so we move. So I'm gonna jump quickly into the next course outline, which is in our course. So we're supposed to talk about systems in a kingdom business and why businesses fail. Now, after what I've talked about the 5 keys of the kingdom and the DNS traits of kingdom business, I think you know why businesses fail, right? Businesses fail because of lack of systems. So I've already given you 5 systems. So if you're not doing none, you understand why your business might have failed. But that is not the end of it. Is it Thomas Edison who how many attempts did he have at making the light bulb? People call it failure. For me, I call it him learning how to turn it off. Because imagine you had a light bulb that never went off. He wouldn't be in business. There's no point in having a whole bulb and people buy it, and for the rest of their life, they never have to buy another one. You're not a good businessman. But every time he was failing, he was learning how to turn it off, or rather, how to make it die. So now he generated the way the filament dies in 3 months. He knows that you're going to need another globe. And then another 3 months, you need another globe. That's what failure teaches you. So you didn't necessarily fail in your business. You learned how not to do it. You learned how not to do it. So businesses fail because we have just failed to master systems. We have just failed to be patient. We failed to master one trade and go with it. The moment you master one trade, it's easier to jump into another one. It's easier to jump into the third one. Why? Because you would have learned how to master it. I think I gave an example in the first lesson where I was telling people about when my little brother came to me and he says, Josh, listen, I'm a great businessman. I think this school thing is wasting my time. Was like, okay, cool. I listened to what he was talking about. I just feel the monies that we are spending on tuition fees, I can take it into my business and improve my business and the whole 9 yards. I told him one thing. I told him, sit down, come, sit down here. One thing that school teaches you, if it's not the only thing, I don't even remember 70 or 80% that I learned in my degree course in context of application, because everything that I'm doing now on the practical aspect of things has nothing to do with the theoretical things that I learned in school. School doesn't teach you how to be street smart. School doesn't teach you how to develop relationships. School doesn't teach you most of the things, the most important things that you need in business. School doesn't teach you that. You learn these things as you go. So I taught him one thing. I told him one of the only things, if not the only thing that school teaches you, is how to start and how to finish. Once you master starting and finish, you have learned a lesson that will take you and propel you into places that you'll never ever imagine. Why? Because you'll never ever give up. You never ever give up. So he started with one, I don't know if it's information technology. He saw that this one is not working for me. In a year's time, he quit and he started another one. Finally, he said, this one is the one. He got a grip of it. In the middle of it, he was about to quit again, saying, you know what, let me focus on business. I told him, youngster, focus. Early this year, he was graduating. Do you know what that has done to his confidence? What that has done to his foresight? What that has done to his possibilities and his outlook on life? Starting and finishing. So sometimes we fail in business because we are not patient enough. We want to give up early. We don't know who to ask. We think I can go 3 4 months without making killer money in the context of big deals, big deals, big deals. Make a little business that at least allows you to make ends meet, and then you just have one deal in a year. Trust me, that's my life. 1 2 deals in a year. It's like if you divided those into 12 months, it's like you were having killer deals each and every month, but all you had was 2 strategic deals that you placed in a year. Hey, business is not for the weak. Business is not for the weak. Key structures every business needs. I think I spoke about them. I won't go into what I don't know, to be honest. I can't teach you things from a business book. I can't give you things that I've never practiced or I haven't experienced. So for me, the key structures that anybody needs to be successful in their individual business, which is them as an individual entity and as an entity as a business, for me, it's in the book of Genesis 1, verse 28. There's no other business theory that can tell me otherwise. In fact, they take everything from there and they just give it different names. The five tools of how to be successful in a business. But when you look at it, it's the same concepts, but they've just brought it into technicalities that make sense to status to people's perspective. right? So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are like an assignment. So I didn't want to give you theoretic things about things that I don't understand myself, like I'm reading from Google. No, no, no. I want to give you practical things that have worked for me. I mean, if they're not for you, you can go to business school. But I can tell you one thing: there's nothing that business school will teach you, other than principles or theories that necessarily you would never use in the practical world. Dr. Joyce will tell you, right? The fourth thing is legal setup. It's important for you to understand the legality of things. I don't know if I saw Lungi on the call. I was telling her something. She had reached out to me asking for advice about how she can engage in a certain business ideology. And I told her one thing, and I said, in this business world, you have to be shrewd. I think for those that love the Bible, there's a parable of the shrewd manager in the Bible, the one that the one that I'm not saying the better, but he had an issue with his master and he was about to lose his life or his job, and he was smart enough to go to everybody that owed the master. Oh, you owe 80K, cool, give me 20. You owe 50, okay, give me a 10. You owe this, you owe that. Before he knew it, he had generated lots of money that was owed to the master, and he came back to the master and he presented to his master, and who was able to resuscitate his reputation. He was able to resuscitate his job in the context of the parable. But that teaches us the concept of being shrewd. People are shrewd in business, people of God. Hey, if there's people that you mustn't even get into business with, personally for me, it's people that are are really carnal Christians, because business is not for the weak. I can tell you for free. Business is not for the weak. So you need to understand the legal setup. If you know you're not as shrewd in the context of being street smart and understanding this guy is playing mind games, this guy is this guy is this. If you don't have that eye, you need to develop a legal setup. You need to develop, number one, before you even develop a legal setup, you need to develop your mindset to be able to understand uh, this is business. This is, I know we're talking kingdom business, so chances are that uh, 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 you think a lot Christian in how you do your business. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, because sometimes you need to go sign a deal at the Capo, or what club do we have here in SA, in Conca, or whatever it is, whatever doesn't look like your kind of place. Are you going to miss out on that deal because you are a Christian? I'm not telling you the answer, neither am I giving you an answer there. That you can answer yourself. But I have my own answer when it comes to that. You know what I mean? The ability for you to be shrewd and to be able to see with an eagle's eye and to not be able to judge. Was it David who was helped by an Egyptian after he fayed the Egyptian and he showed him exactly where he needed to be? Why? If David looked at that Egyptian and said, he's not like us, I don't know where he would have ended up. But guess what? When it comes to dealing with this business concept and life in general, get yourself a lawyer friend at least. Know somebody in the law fraternity. Know somebody who can advise you. Somebody who can give you ideas. For me, I have a doctor friend. I have a lawyer friend. I have friends in the different spheres of whatever it is that I know I need as a business person, as an individual, also. You know what I mean? There are times when I fall sick and I can call Ulungi and I say, "Hey, girl, this is what do you think?" And she can prescribe something over the phone. I call her Martha. She can prescribe something over the phone. Say, "Oh no, that one is like this. Don't worry. This is." When I need something law related, I was telling the church that I lead, I had a law issue at the beginning of the year, and I was so stressed that spiritual people, my mom, who's I look up to, my dad, who's a bishop, was telling me, "It is well, my son," but I wasn't at peace. I wasn't at peace with all those beautiful words of "it is well, my son, God bless you, the Lord is with you." I wasn't at peace. The moment I spoke to a lawyer and I said, "This is what I'm going through," and she explained, she's like, "Josh, you're worrying about nothing." I was at peace. Peace came like no man's business. Why? Because I have people in the law fraternities that I can run to when I need help. There are people in you name it, logistics. There are mentors. The legal setup here has everything to do with the fraternity of how you know that you're not good in something, and so you must be able. How are you backing yourself up? How are you able to back yourself up from loss? You get it. Another thing that I always like to tell people, this thing of, it's okay to, there are times when you really need to borrow money, right? But it is also important that when people come and borrow money from you, you need to understand that just like they didn't have money in that moment to, and they were able to come and borrow from you, you need to understand the logic of money. They might not have the money on the day that they promise to pay you back. I'm going to pay you back month end. It might not be that way. So how are you able to manage your expected loss? Right? This is my trick all the time. And for those that are here and you get to experience this, well and good. But if somebody asks me for a certain threshold of money, and I know I want to help them, but I know that the chances of them paying me back are high, but might not pay me back on the day that they are promising me, I'll usually give them half. I'll usually give them half to say, listen, I don't have that amount of money right now, but I can help you with so much. I can help you with this. That is being legally smart, because you know that you're also protecting a relationship that you have with that person. Money is a drug, people of God. You can hurt somebody just for money issues. So how do you manage those things? All those are legal themes that you have to look at and be legally smart yourself to say, how am I able to protect this relationship in an instance that they don't pay me back, in an instance that I lose um, somebody's, I'm in logistics. There's certain things that I've put in place to ensure that I protect my reputation from clients, because it's logistics. I could promise 3 days delivery and it takes a week. So there are certain things that I've put in place to ensure that I'm able to protect my business, protect my reputation, and protect my relationship with the client. All those are legal setups that you can put, because when we think legal, we are looking at it from a legal perspective. You must have this, you must have that. It is also very important for you to have that in place. Things like your tax returns, all those guys, people are there. There are people who do tax whatever. You might not even understand a single thing about tax or whatever. Reach out to somebody who does them. Listen, I run a business. There's this thing called tax. Please, what would you need from me for me to know if I'm tax compliant? In South Africa now, they've released a new law that if your business, if you see in Zambia, even before the law was released, you could have a redundant business that has never made a profit in a year, and you'd get away with not filing for your taxes. Now they've released a bill that if you do not file for taxes, whether you have made money or not, your business is profitable or not, if you don't file for your taxes, each and every month you pay 250 rand. Now imagine if you multiply that by a scale of 12 months, that's plus minus. What are we looking at? We're looking at plus minus 3K for a business. And for just knowing somebody to help you, you can even pay them a 500, 1,000, just to ensure that they look at your books and whatever. You save yourself 2,000. But what do I know? Finance systems, these are very, very important systems. In the next 15 minutes, as I wrap it up, finance systems, your bank, is it Airtel Money, whatever it is. I was teaching a young mentee of mine the other day, and I was telling her she runs a baking business, and she thinks she's in business because she's getting orders every other 2 days, every other 3 days. And then I sat her down one day. I said, okay, great. I see you always posting these cakes. Now let's have a call tonight. Let's have a call. Let's break down how much money you've made this year. This girl is not hasn't even broken even. She's making losses. Business. She's making losses. Do you know why? Because she just doesn't take note. She doesn't bookkeep. She doesn't. So what she does is she has an order today. She doesn't know that most of her money goes into just running around to buy ingredients, fuel, and she doesn't pay for electricity at her parents' house. So she doesn't look into all those things. But as a business person, as an entity, you need to take note, bookkeep. Okay, I had a cake. I charged 1,500. How much were the ingredients? 500. How much was my fuel? This. How do I reduce this fuel from 200 to at least 100? Instead of buying per order, can I buy in bulk? What are the most important things that I need? I need flour. I need this. I need that. I need that. So instead of me going every time to buy, now I can buy once, stock up, and every time I get an order, I'm able to just use what's in my stock. If there's one, two, three things that are not there, yes, then there's that leverage for me to leave the house and go end. And she looked at it, she's like, why didn't I think about this? I'm like, because we think that a business is just because you. A lot of people are not even in business. We call ourselves entrepreneurs. Some of us are just sole traders. Some of us are just trading. But to be a business person, these are the things that you need to look at. Look at your bank statement for your business. Take a look. Okay, cool. Am I in business? Oh, I'm actually not in business. Remember, we're talking about growth, systems and structures for growth. So you're growing and you're on social media. You've posted 20 cakes that year, that month. But when we look at your business strand, you're not in business. You are in advertising. Finance systems. So put them in place. Put finance systems in place. Have a separate bank for your business. Have a separate bank for whatever it is. Have an accountant if you can. If you can't afford one, be your own accountant. That's why you went to school. Bookkeep. Just start by bookkeeping. Take a note. I had this order this year. I had today. What do they need? This. They want a dark chocolate cake. This is how much it's gonna cost. These are my ingredients. These are this. This is the. You're able to marginalize on your profits that way. Excuse me. Dr. Joyce, I need a pay rise. The we move it. Operation flows or operation systems. Facebook. I use Zoho Books for my accounting on my computer. TikTok, whatever it is that you are using, there's a lot of operation systems that are made available for us to be able to be effective in our businesses. Excuse me. For us to be able to be effective in our businesses, there's a lot of systems that are available, but we are not even cognizant to the fact that they are available. So we don't even know how to use them. So operation systems, you need to have a system. How do you work? Do you just post any day on Facebook? No, okay, I'll be posting every Monday, Tuesday. This is what I'm trying to achieve. This is that, this is this is that, this is it. All these are operation flows that you need to have. Have a team if you can afford to have a team. I have a team, and my team are not even employed by me. You get my point. I have a manager that helps me manage my logistics business. I don't even need to be in Zambia or in South Africa for me to transact. Why? Because there are people that have engaged, relationships that I've leveraged on. I have a warehouse, but it's not. I'm not paying the rent there. You know what I mean? I've leveraged on the ability for me to tell them I'm going to bring you business. So if I'm bringing you business, listen, I want to use your address as my warehouse address. So when my clients send your manager becomes my manager because he's managing my goods. Da, 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 da. I'm bringing you business. So why wouldn't you want to partner with me? You get my point. I'm not even paying rent there, but I have a warehouse. Have a team. So teams sometimes you don't necessarily have to have people that you are employing, right? You could have people that you've leveraged on relationships with. You could have people that you are able to leverage on and become a team based on that. uh, Creating a scalable model. This one is the most tricky part because it has to do with money, right? A scalable model. How are you able to scale up your business? So I'll give you an example. I'm a practical lecturer or a teacher or coach, whatever you want to call me. I won't give you things that I've read. I won't give you things that are practical. So I'm trying to scale up my business, and I noticed one of Zambian moguls in the logistics space that have been killing it for many, many years. And all I did was I sought after mentorship to say, hey, I want you to mentor me in this area because this is what I'm trying to achieve. This is that. This is this. And they gave me insight into how to scale up my business. So I'm no longer looking now. I'm trying to scale up from the relationships that I have. I don't even market a lot in terms of advertising and marketing because my small little relationship group is quite sustainable, right? But now, how do I scale it up to the point that I want to now be in business where I know that it's instead of having two deals that sustain the whole year, how about have 12 deals in a year that up that big? You get my point. So you learn from it and you're like, listen, and you're like, okay, cool, 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 cool. Scaling up is more about just leveraging on people that have scaled up already. And already we're working on something now. Got a call. We need these to be delivered from this point to this point. Guess what I called? Hey, leader, how do we do this? What do you think? No, mark it up at this much. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm learning how to mark up. I'm learning how to be shrewd in my marking up. I'm not. It's not about being nice because I know you know. It's business. You get my point. So scale it up. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine. We are talking business earlier before this call, and she was telling me about how she had a meeting with a possible prospect and she undervalued her package. She undervalued her pitch. And before she went into that meeting, thank God she prays and she has a discerning spirit. She decides to call a certain friend just to bounce a few things off to say, hey, listen, I'm about to get into this meeting. Listen, this is that. Listen, this is how much I'm charging. You say, what? You can't charge less than this for that. She had to quickly change the pitch 30 minutes into the meeting and put the actual price, presented it, and the guy said, "Yeah, let's do business." So she was about to be less 500K, 500,000 rand, just because she thought whatever. But she scaled up in her business. Why? Because all she did was make a call, right? So scale up. Now we're gonna have an assignment, right? In the remaining 7 minutes, I was gonna explain it, but I learn better when I'm practical about doing what I need to do. So here's the assignment. We're gonna post it on the group. I believe one of the moderators will be able to post this on our platforms. So the assignment has to do with a business model canvas, right? A business model canvas, right? With everything that I've given you an idea of and everything that I've spoken about, you're going to have an assignment to draft a basic business model canvas. Now, with AI and GPT, whatever it's called, and all these beautiful platforms that have been made very, very easy, only laziness will ensure that you don't do this assignment. But otherwise, it's as easy as 10 minutes to just understand it and be able to chronologically look at it and learn how to do it yourself. I was going to teach it, but because of time, this is your assignment. You're going to draft a basic business model canvas to be posted in the group. Take time to do it. It's up to you. If you don't do it, that's also fine, right? So, basic business model canvas. That is your assignment to be posted in your group. I had an amazing time with everybody here. I don't know if there's any questions. I can't really read. Given, are we able to just zoom in on the comments? I want to see in the last remaining minutes if Christians want to do business with empathy and sympathy. No way, sir. Absolutely. It's business, man. It's business. Absolutely. Leverage on partnerships. Great, 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 great. Absolutely. We must leverage on these partnerships. I missed that one, given. If you can just pull it out for me again. And if there's any questions in the remaining 5 minutes, the group will also be open for you to post, what you learned, what stood out for you, any questions that you may have. Please feel free to reach out on the platform. We meet again next Tuesday. We'll be talking about what are we going to be talking about? Marketing, one of my favorite, marketing and sales. Oh my goodness, you don't want to miss this one. You don't want to miss this one. That's my niche. That's my strength. So we'll be talking about marketing and sales and how to make profit profit. I was about to say prophetic strategies, but profit strategies. Sales. Once you fall in love with sales, people think sales is the most difficult thing or most difficult department or most difficult career. It is the most difficult and the most rewarding. So once you love it, once you fall in love with it, learn it, it's going to be very, very easy for you to succeed. Please move the comments given if you can. Thank you so much. Unless there's any other questions, I really enjoyed. If you're still on the call, just say something in the comment section. Come on. I've been speaking the whole time. Say something in the comment section. Drop an emoji. Drop something. Drop something. Yana, as we conclude and call it a night. But I'll be seeing you next week. Same time, same link, same place. Post your questions or anything that you may have on the group. Shalom, shalom. Thank you.